Hello, welcome back to Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Today I'm going to be working on making an activity booklet or a coloring booklet. The activity booklets have coloring pages as well as other activity pages like connect the numbers and different little games that you might find so that it appeals to all ages of children, not just the little bitty ones that like to color. So we'll be working on that today, and I'm going to be continuing with the Toy Story theme from my last video where I made the placemat. So let's get started. So to find my coloring pages, I went to my Bing search engine. I typed in high-res royalty-free Toy Story coloring pages, and once it started to bring up some selections, I click on images, which brought me to this page. And now I'm gonna just look for pictures that I might like to use, and I think this dog is a cute picture, so I'm going to, in order to bring it into uh, Microsoft Picture It, I'm going to right click anywhere inside of the picture. There's a menu that drops down that for some reason does not show up when I'm recording. I'll have to figure that out. Something going on within Windows. But I right click on the picture and it brings up, there's a menu here that I'm scrolling through, and I'm going to choose copy from that menu. Click copy, and now I'm going to go back to Picture It and paste it onto the page with all the other pictures that I selected. So now I'm back in Picture It. I'm going to go to the top of the screen, and right here next to the scissors you'll see copy and paste. I'm going to click on the little clipboard and it's going to paste the dog into my screen. So let's get started with putting the book together. So in order to put the book together, I'm going to click to bring up a brand new page, which is this icon right here next to the word projects. And I'm going to make a half full book or a booklet rather than full page, which would have been in portrait mode if I was going to make a full page coloring book. But I'm going to do the booklet type coloring book / activity book. So I'm going to go to So I'm going to go to size and position, alignment guides, and I'm going to choose a vertical guide. And as you can see, it puts it directly down the middle of my page. I'm going to click done. So this is going to be the front cover. This is going to be the back cover. And on most coloring books, the first page is usually already, the first and back page, or the front cover and back cover, is usually already colored. So that's what I want to do here. I want to make my book look as authentic as possible. So I'm going to use the cover from the placemat that I made in my last video, continuing with the Toy Story theme. So I already opened up that page. As you can see, it's in pictured format because it has all the layers from the menu, from the placemat still there. And I'm going to switch to that one because what I want to bring up to my new cover page, I want this background. So I'll click on the background, and then to choose the rest of the pieces I want to take, I'm going to hold down the CTRL, which is the control key. I'm going to click on Harriet and Birthday Bash. And then I'm going to close the puzzle piece here at the bottom. I'm going to choose Don't Show Me This Again, and no, because I don't need it to show me how to do this. And I'm going to go back to that page that I just made, switch back to it with my grid line down the vertically down the page, and I'm going to click once again on the original background for the placemat, and I'm just going to bring up that section that I just joined together, which is my name, birthday bash, and the Toy Story wallpaper. So I'm just going to left click on that, drag it, and drop it on my page. And now I want to center this in the middle of my front page, just like this. I don't want any of that white shadowed out or softened out edge on there. I just want it just like this on the front. And then I actually have this little picture that I found of Buzz and Woody that I want to put on the front cover, and I think that it has a white background around it. I'm just going to test that by adding a shadow. Yes, it has a white square around it. So I want to take out that white square, so I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to go to cut out a picture, cut out and pictures, and this sub menu that you might not see, I'm going to the first box that says cut out of picture. Then I'm going to choose this selection, which you do see, by color selection. And I'm going to take my slider all the way down to 0, because hopefully I can just get the white areas and won't have to do any extra work on Buzz because he's white. Oh, and his vest, I would probably have to do some extra work, but I'm going to test it and see. If I have to do a lot of work, then I might go with a different picture. So I don't have to do a lot of work. It did pretty good. I'm missing this little area here, and the rest of it I can work with. Oh, let me go ahead and get this around his fingers too. So I remember I need to cut out Woody's vest, and everything else should be okay. Oh, and right here on Buzz and his hand. So both of Buzz's arms and right here on Woody's vest. So I'm going to go ahead and hit next. I'm going to hit select opposite area so that I will keep this part that I want, that the two characters, that's what I really want to cut out, and I'm going to choose done. And the reason why I chose, you choose the background to when you're choosing the part to cut out, is because it's easier to choose just the white background than it is to choose all these colors. So once you choose the entire background, then you choose the switch to opposite area to bring the characters forward. And now we just have to go in and do a small cut. I'm going to go back to cut out in pictures, because as you can see here on the right hand side, I have layers. So the top layer is the cutout we just made, and the bottom layer is the full picture. So I want to get this vest in here and both of his arms, and I think I saw a little bit of his leg was missing too. So I'm going to go here to cut out in picture again. I'm going to choose once again the first choice, cut out of picture, and I'm going to go to by tracing an area on my own, which is the second choice this time. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that I can see where I want to cut. And I'm just going to start and just cut out the sections that I need, which was the rest of his vest. Then I'm going to go over, and it doesn't matter that I'm going across his body, because I already know the areas that I need to cut out. And I'm just going for those areas only. And it was a part of his leg, so I'm just going on down here. And if you don't want to go through all this, you can find a picture that has more of a background on it where you won't have to worry about doing what I'm doing now. But since I chose this one, I'm just going to go ahead and go with it and just take out, just in case I miss seeing some areas, I'm going to just quickly go around all the areas that I think could have been excluded so that I can have them included in the picture without having to go through a lot of extra work of reopening and cutting again. So I'm just going all along here, and I know I need to get to his hand, just the lightest parts. I think it was this inside portion of his sleeve here. And I'm not doing it exact because it's not going to really show any of this area that I'm cutting out. It won't look bad because it will blend in with the rest of the background. And just to be on the safe side, I'm going to come over and get this area as well. I'm basically just redrawing out the parts that I think were left out of the image when I did my initial cut. And you can do it very roughly so. And now when I think I have all the areas included that I needed, I'm going to click on the green flag here, or I can click on it over here. And then once it turns yellow, you can go in and fine tune some of your lines. As you can see, it turns pink wherever I touch it, and if I needed to adjust it a little bit, I would just click on it and pull it in or out just to get it exactly where I wanted. Like right here, there's all I needed was the black portion. So just showing you how to use that function. Now when I have it exactly as I wanted, I'm going to hit that yellow flag, and it's showing me the areas that I have cut out, that I included. And I'm going to go ahead and hit done. Now I'm going to delete the picture at the very bottom, which was the original, and I should have, with what's left, once I do my cutout, I'm just going to go to cut out a picture, cut with the cookie cutter shape, and I'm just going to bring this square up as close as I can to the characters, so that I can cut out if there was any residual of the white left in there, which it shouldn't be. I'm going to hit next and done, and then I'm going to delete all the layers except the top one. And like I said, if you choose one that has a background, you wouldn't have to go through all this. And I'm just going to drop a shadow to make sure that I have, as you can see, I have his vest in there and all the other pieces that I needed. So I'm going to reset that. Just put a soft shadow around that, click done, and now I'm going to go back to my cover page, and I'm going to drag Woody and Buzz up into the picture, and I'll bring them out a little bit so it'll look like they're standing right there. They don't have to fill up the whole page. We can see them well enough. You can make them a little bigger if you want it, but I think that's a good size because they're supposed to be toys, and if this is the floor, they would probably be about that tall. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that just like that. And then for the rest of this background, I want to make this come all the way over to this side. So all I'm going to do is find a good spot in here to make a straight cut. And I'm going to go to once again, cut out of picture. And this time I'm going to say by tracing on my own. So I think I'm going to cut around here and then try to kind of eyeball how much more I think it needs to be on, this side. I'm going to go straight down from there. I'm just kind of trying to eyeball how much extra I would need to fill out this page, and I'm going to see how that looks. If I don't like it, then I will change it up, make it look a little different. So looks like I'm gonna like it. I might need to darken it a little bit to make it blend because I have that line right there. So I'm gonna darken this a little bit and see if I can't make it match a little better. And all I did was go to paint and color effects, change the color because I just want to change the tone of the color. I want to make it darker, and I'm just gonna hit a couple of clicks on this and see if I can get it to blend in. And as you can see, it's blending in there pretty good, and so I'm gonna go with that. So all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stretch this out a little more, not them, but I'm going to click on this side of the picture, and I'm going to click on that piece I added. I'm going to group those together, and it just don't feel, panic if your people disappear. When you group some pieces without grouping them all, the ones you don't group will go in the background, and it'll bring the ones you did group to the foreground. And all you have to do to bring your other pieces back to the foreground is take the one you grouped from the top, left click on it, and just drag it back a layer or 2 layers until it's back where you had it before. And so now I'm just going to oversize this a little bit more so that it will fill in the rest of that space. And I'm gonna size this a little bit more so I can put Harriet's Toy Story Birthday Bash back in the middle of my page. Alright, and I can make them a little bigger if I want, but I like it like that. Even though it's covering up birthday, it looks like it's layered, like he's really standing in front of the wall. So now we have our front cover and our back cover, and I like to always add a thank you for coming back here. So I'm going to do once again the same font that I used for Harriet. Actually, I could have made a copy of it without having to go through all of this, but just to remind you how I did that, I went to text, add text. I'm going to change this to Arial by clicking on it, and then if I click in the box and type an A, it will take me to the A section, and there's Arial Black. I'm going to click on more color choices, which is the color wheel. It gives me the eyedropper when I come over to my picture, and I'm going to click on the yellow of Toy Story. Then I'm going to click done. I'm going to highlight this by clicking on the far right and dragging it across while I'm still holding the left button, and I'm going to type thank you for coming. To my party, or whatever message you want it to be, and maybe an exclamation. I'm going to shrink this down some so that it's not too big. I'm going to go to apply special effect, highlight the edge because I need that blue edge around it. I'm going to go down here to this third choice. Hopefully this is showing up, but if it doesn't, once you click on, let me go back there, once you click on apply a special effect, which is the little cup full of pencils, it brings up another menu that says fill text with color gradient, bend text, add a shadow, highlight text edge, or make 3D. I'm going to choose highlight text edge. Then it gives 4 choices here. You can choose nothing, which is you could choose not to have an edge or to remove an edge if you had it on there previously. The next one is kind of a shadowy edge. This is the solid thick edge, and then there's another edge that kind of glows and is see-through, but I like the thick edge. As you can see, it always defaults originally to red. Then I'm going to click on customize the edge, more color choices, which is the little color wheel. I get the eyedropper back, and I'm going to come over into this dark blue, click it, and it changes my edge to dark blue. I'm going to click done here at the bottom. I'm going to take my slider and slide it all the way over to make that thick as I can get it, the blue edge. And now we're done with that. To keep it simple, I'm going to leave it just like that. So I'm going to move it to a spot that's pretty center in the page, and you've just completed your cover. So now we would save this as a cover, but I'm going to keep moving and start making the pages. So in order to make your coloring pages, you are going to do the same thing. You're going to click here for a new page. You're going to go to size and position, alignment guides. You're going to click on vertical guide, hit done, and now you're just going to start dragging your pictures into your book. So I'm going to drag up the dog to one side, and now it doesn't really matter where you put them as long as you just put one on each page, one of the pictures on each page. And all I'm doing is clicking on the pages in this drawer, and then I'm just going to drag up the page that I want to use for that particular section of the book. And make sure you leave, some space here by your center line, because that's where you're going to be stapling it once it's printed. So now I have that page done, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Choose a new page, size and position, alignment guides. I think this is the menu you don't see, but you're going to go to the one that says alignment guides, which is the last choice. Then you're going to click on vertical guide, put your line down the middle, hit done, and just go and add more pictures. Click that one, bring that in, resize it in your page. You could cut out a lot of this extra stuff around there, so I'm going to go to cutout and picture with the cutout of picture was the menu you didn't see, and then I'm going to choose with a cookie cutter shape, and I'm just going to go over to the right around the little doll and make a rectangle around her. I can take that Y out later, but for now I'm just going to put this around her just so I can get the rest of that out of there, because the movie's already come out, so it's no need to keep all that on there. I'm going to hit delete, resize, I'm going to put her in the page, and then I think I'll just cut out a line over here and paste it over there. So I'm going to go to cut out a picture, and I'm going to do a trace on my own, and just going to choose some of these lines and see if I can make them fit on that side perfectly, which it should. It doesn't matter that I went all out the lines over here, because it's still just going to get this section for me. I'm going to click that yellow flag to signal that I'm done. I'm going to hit done, and then I'm going to take that piece, drag it over, go to size and position, flip, choose mirror, done, and drag it over and place it on this side. And I'm just going to line it up. I might need to shrink it down a little bit until I get it to kind of line up with the ones on the other side. I think it went up a little higher or longer, one or the other. And if I can't get it just like I want it, it looks like I'm not going to get it just like I want it, but as long as it matches up pretty good, I should be alright. I'm sort of a perfectionist, so I'm not quite giving up on it yet, but I can always crop out a little more if I need to. That's a little better. I'm going to try not to run myself crazy over this, because this is a sample booklet. And just to get that extra little piece of the Y out, I'm going to go here and just make a white square and cover up that little piece. And you can just choose better pictures. Think in advance when you're choosing your pictures on what's going to be easy to put in. So that works pretty good. And now I'm going to go back down to my page again and choose another character. Let's see, what do I have so far? I'll do the Woody by number. So I'll go down and find him again. Where was he? I thought I just saw him. Must be farther up. There he is. And drag and drop him. Resize him on the page. I'll make him big as I can, because those numbers are pretty small. But put him toward the right edge. I mean the left edge, I'm sorry. So that he won't be caught in the fold. And I'm going to repeat this with however many pages I want to make, and then I'll be back. So now the activity booklet is finished. The front page I printed on glossy photo paper, and the remaining pages I printed on regular inkjet paper. I printed them double-sided so that when they're folded, they'll look just like a regular activity book or coloring book. This page I left one side blank That's going to be the first page you see when you open the book, and on the front and the back page you can put a coloring page of the boy or girl who's having the party. And now I'm just stacking all the pages together to make sure that they're aligned perfectly. This stapler is an extra long stapler that I use for booklets. I like to use a blank sheet of regular paper just as a sample so that I can check the red guard. As you see, that's the paper guard, to make sure that I have it lined up exactly like I want it, where the staples will be on the spine, as you see here. The red guide moves so that you can adjust the paper and save it that way for when you have to staple multiple booklets. So now I'm just going to put one staple near the top and another staple near the bottom. Once I fold it, you'll see what the finished item looks like. I used one of my printers that leaves a white edge. When I was printing the front cover, you see that it has the white edge on it. This can be left on. I've seen some people who leave them on. I like to cut it off for a neater and more perfect appearance. I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. Your pages will look just like you have a regular coloring book that you can purchase from the store, except it'll be personalized for the person that's having the party. On the last two still shots, you will see how the book looks once the white edge is trimmed off. And also I added activity booklet or activity book as the name of this item. You'll see it on the next photo. Once again, thank you for watching Harriet's Custom Computer Art Plus. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and the bell if you'd like to be notified when I have uploaded a new video. I'll see you next time.